Only a win for Norwich today will suffice. Well, when they went top 11 weeks ago, few people expected them to be there or thereabouts for very long. Well, they are, on merit, but how have they done it? What's the knack? Let's hear from manager Dave Stringer.
There's no real secret, but the spirit in the side and the willingness to work for each other. I think that's the secret with any good side. You can have a team of internationals, but if they're not working together, then of course you're working as lone units, and this has come through to my mind throughout the season. They've worked very hard, got the results, and then the confidence has grown, and we've built on that. Watching at home today, you won't know too much about my players, but we've picked 5 out for you to look for. The first one we look at is Brian Gunn. This season he's had a particularly good time. He's been very steady for us. He's made 1 or 2 good penalty saves, and of course he's given a couple away as well, but he's been able to make up for them. Andy Linnigan, who we bought from Oldham, has been a very good buy for us. He's done a very good job at the back. He's another big man who's dominating in both boxes. He scored a few vital goals for us this year. A good character amongst the players, you know, someone that is not probably one of the big outgoing people, but when he said something, you know, people take notice. And next one to look at, Mickey Phelan, who was skipper of the club. A very good club man, a very good man for the team, a good family man, and someone that the younger players can look up to. In fact, you know, for such a young man, he's quite a father figure.
And now it's Phelan. That's a beauty from the captain, Mickey Phelan.
Dale Gordon, one of the younger members of the side, popularly known as Flash Gordon to the players because of his dressing style, and also likes to be a little bit flash on the pitch as well. You know, he's got a good few tricks up his sleeve. He's certainly played well this year.
Oliver House playing that to Fleck. Oh, for Dale Gordon! This is going to be the equaliser!
And now Robert Fleck, who seems to be getting quite a bit of publicity lately. A bubbly character. Has scored most of the goals this season for us. The sort of character that is good for the team when he's on song, and you know, you can't relax when you've got people that are always sniffing around for goals.
And Norwich knocking the ball around well again. That's very much their style. Can Phelan reach it? He can. Fleck! A very special goal for Norwich City from Robert Fleck.
Well, I'll tell you how special that goal by Robert Fleck, the winner against Spurs on October the 22nd. That was the last time that Norwich won here at Carrow Road 9 weeks ago. Quite remarkable, really, especially when you consider during that period of time they've won at Manchester United and Liverpool. Well, what of West Ham? Enigmatic, that's one way of describing them. Bottom of the First Division, and yet capable of inflicting on Liverpool their heaviest defeat for 5 years, which came at Upton Park in the Littlewoods Cup, 4-1 to the Hammers. So with quality players like Paul Ince and particularly Liam Brady, it's difficult to pinpoint what's going wrong.
Liam Brady, why the contrast between your cup and league form?
Well, it's hard to know, Jim, exactly. Perhaps the fact that we've been down the bottom end of the table for really most of the season has been a burden on the players from match to match, whereas in the cup, one-off thing, they've kind of forgotten about our troubles. Having said that, we've done pretty well against the top side, so hopefully we can do something today.
Is there any hint of desperation creeping in at Upton Park?
No, obviously we're looking at what the other teams are doing about us, and yesterday wasn't the best of days for us, so it's vital that we really get something today. But really now we have to look at ourselves and get some consistency to our better performances and try and get up that table.
And here come Norwich, live pictures from Carrow Road this afternoon, to a great reception too by a crowd somewhere approaching the 20,000 mark. There they are, great enthusiasm. We know now for West Ham. Even 3 points today wouldn't actually take West Ham off the bottom of the First Division. There they are. And our commentary team today is Trevor Francis, who insists we call him boss these days, and Martin Tyler.
Good afternoon, everyone. Compliments of the season to you all. This is the Norwich City side striving to reclaim leadership of the First Division. Brian Gunn, an ever-present in goal. Ian Culverhouse is the right-back signed from Tottenham, as was the left-back, Mark Bowen. Bowen, a Welsh international. And Ian Crook at number 4, also secured from Spurs, where Glenn Hoddle had a great influence on his game. Andy Linnigan, the strong man in the centre of the defence. Andy Townsend, the hero of Anfield, at 6. Dale Gordon, a stone lighter this season, at 7. Then Robert Fleck, fit again after a back injury, to partner 6'4" Robert Rosario, the main strike force for Norwich. Michael Phelan will operate as a centre-back wearing number 10, and Perky Trevor Putney plays on the left of a 4-man midfield. Here's Andy Townsend, clearly a player for the big occasion. 2 goals this season, the first a last-minute winner at Old Trafford in October. And then it was Townsend who created the result which really showed off Norwich City's credentials, the winner at Anfield in their last league game. West Ham have the Northern Ireland international number 1 goalkeeper Alan McKnight. At right back is Steve Potts, although Ray Stewart is fit again and a substitute today. George Parris deputises again for the suspended Julian Dix. Tony Gale is one half of a strong pairing in the centre of defence, alongside Alvin Martin, the captain. At 6, Alan Devonshire, 32 now, but still stylish in midfield. Liam Brady is another who proves the durability of high-quality skill. David Kelly has stepped into the Tony Cottee role after his summer signing from Walsall. At 9, Leroy Rossignol, forceful up front. Alan Dickens at 10, providing a deft touch from midfield. And at 11, Paul Ince, the scourge of Liverpool in that 4-1 Littlewoods Cup sensation. The referee is an executive engineer with British Telecom, Mick Bailey. And alongside me, Trevor Francis, ITV pundit, but First Division manager, and Norwich City very much in your mind.
That's right, because we play them next Monday at Shepherd's Bush, so apart from doing a bit of work for the TV today, I'm also very interested in spying on them for my colleagues in the team at Queen's Park Rangers.
Well, Norwich City, often regarded as the country cousins, but now proving themselves an important member of the First Division family. The teams have had an extra day to digest any Christmas excesses. As you'd expect, Norwich City, the club, provided their players with turkeys by way of a Christmas bonus. They're pretty good in this part of the world. And as they say up here, the weather has been beautiful today. Very mild for late December, but nothing mild about the match we're about to witness. So West Ham will kick off, propping up the First Division. Not a lucky ground for them either. You have to go back to February 1973 for the last time they won here in the league. Alan McKnight's first clearance dropped straight to Dale Gordon. Linnigan covering across. So far, Norwich lasting the pace that they set with 4 successive wins in their opening 4 league games of the season. That was a club record. It was a hard act to follow, but they played with patience and with skill and with tremendous collective effort. Townsend. Dickens. Rossignol to the left, and Kelly had pulled away to the right. And got support here from Potts. Brady starting on the right with Devonshire on the left. Rossignol, as expected, through the centre. And that was Phelan stepping in the nick of time for Norwich. A very stable character, Michael Phelan. Rosario really the target for the long clearances in the air, and Fleck, the smaller man, expected to feed off the flicks. Putney, 4 is Ian Crook. Came off Townsend. Well, Devonshire read that very easily from Mark Bowen. Norwich trying to settle to their patient rhythm. They're happy to keep the ball, play it from the back. Putney taking it on the chest and trying to drive on. Didn't come to Rosario. But it's going to be a match of midfield skills. West Ham are pretty well equipped in that department. Devonshire finding Rossinia. Townsend, who favours the left foot, as you saw. Dickens, harassed by Fleck, chasing back. Gordon. Linnigan has spotted Bowen in space. Crook trying to take it on the burst. Might come for Rosario. The flick is for Gordon. Parried away by McKnight. The first strike in anger came from Norwich and from Dale Gordon. With 3 minutes gone, it's led to the game's first corner. Alan McKnight, who was beaten 4 times in the Northern Ireland goal in the week leading up to Christmas in Spain. Alvin Martin, after Rosario had started his jump and checked as though he felt there was someone coming in behind him. There was, but not a Norwich teammate. Rosario and Linnigan poised to attack the ball from the edge of the area. Phelan and Townsend looking in the near post area. Gordon takes the corner. It's coming for Rosario! Norwich not able to really convert it, but Linnigan in there again, and so too was Rosario. But Trevor, as the ball came in then and Rosario seemed to be getting to it first, it looked a reasonable chance.
Yes, I would think that West Ham would be quite relieved to have overcome that early pressure, because in the space of 1 minute we had 2 chances. First of all from Gordon, then the second one you're talking about from Rosario.
Both teams trained on Christmas morning and again yesterday. Very much a working time of year for professional footballers. Devonshire, Dickens. It came behind Kelly and behind Rossinia. But just a hint of vulnerability about Norwich at the back there. Devonshire. Here's Gale. Brady with Potts going outside him. Steve Potts, who's filled in very capably for Ray Stewart, who's only had a couple of First Division games this season because of a long-term hamstring injury, but Stewart and Kevin Keane, the West Ham substitutes today. Well, it wasn't a malicious challenge, but it was an unfair one by Ian Crook on David Kelly. West Ham just waiting while Gale and more belatedly Alvin Martin goes up, and that's Alan Taylor, one of the 2 Norwich substitutes. More on him in a moment. Gale. Culverhouse.
sprint between the two number 11s. In the end, the ball beat them both. But Alan Taylor, sitting with Ian Butterworth there, Taylor on the left, who scored 2 goals in the 1975 FA Cup final for West Ham. And then he had a spell with Norwich, moved into the lower divisions, and then came here as a non-contract player in the close season, and has earned himself a contract and plenty of goals in the reserves, finds him on the verge of a chance of playing against the team he served so well so many years ago. Here's Kelly. Rosario.
It's interesting that both teams play a similar type of football. Both like to pass the ball around, keeping possession, and tactically they're both playing in a similar way, 4-4-2. The only slight difference to what we expected was that Liam Brady, who's so noted for his lovely left foot, is playing on the right side of midfield, with Devonshire switching to the left.
It's a similar shape for West Ham to the team that beat Liverpool. Dickens getting in behind Crook and able to release his pass to Brady in that position that Trevor Francis was describing. Potts. A lot of West Ham players forward here. Dickens is one of them. Brady in the end hoists it high. Phelan hasn't dropped cleanly for Norwich to clear. And Dave Stringer and his assistant nearer the camera, David Williams, pondering a start where West Ham have played their part. On the ground where they last visited on New Year's Day at the start of the year and were beaten 4-1. What a difference a year has made to Norwich City. Christmas a year ago, bottom of the First Division, and here they are trying to reclaim their place at the top. Brady reading it well. Putney. Bowen looking for some movement ahead of him. But in fact, it came from the player nearest to him, Ian Crook. Culverhouse. And Tony Gale in command. West Ham so much more secure with Gale and Martin in harness in the centre of their defence. Over the last couple of years, they've had between them so many injury problems that haven't often been able to operate. They're funneling back now in the face of Dale Gordon. Well, it's a run that reflects his new confidence this season. I said at the outset, he shed a stone, had an appetite for junk food, and even admitting to 1 or 2 drinks too many in the past. But it's a new Dale Gordon, and it's reflected in his sharpness on the field. Senior nicely down for Dickens. Interception from Linnigan. Perhaps one thing lacking in Norwich's style is real explosive pace up front. Fleck, who looks for knockdowns in opposing penalty areas, and the tall Rosario. Paris. And the free kick given against Linnigan for the foul on Kelly. It was an attempt to play the ball, but obviously Mick Bailey felt he didn't get there first. Not quite in the territory where Tony Gale scored from so spectacularly against Liverpool, and Gale has just made his way into the centre, leaving the free kick to Brady. And that should be the goalkeeper's, despite a praiseworthy leap by Leroy Rossignol. Norwich trying to pick up the tempo. Townsend. It's a good cross on the run, one for Rosario to fight for, and Fleck. But the whistle, in fact, I think had gone against Robert Rosario for the way he jumped. But Trevor, that was the combination that possibly we should be looking for.
Yes, I was very interested there in the run that Andy Townsend made from midfield. He's playing alongside Crook, but he's the one that's coming to support the front players, and unless West Ham track him down, they could have problems.
The ball was placed for a free kick rather than a goal kick, so Rosario was penalised. Townsend. Here's Bowen. He's got Putney to the left. Fleck through the centre. Ian Crook, who loves to spread the play, and invited Culverhouse to chase on there. In fact, he was a little reluctant to accept the invitation. An understanding that started in the Tottenham youth team. Rossignol. I was with the West Ham players yesterday evening when they heard that the Pools panel had marked this down as a home win. They weren't too pleased, I can tell you, and they've come here determined to prove those eminent gentlemen wrong. They've made a reasonable start. Paris. And Potts wants to play it back because Rosario saw to that. It was possession from West Ham, but not to any real purpose. Rosario took up the position well. Dickens. Gale kept his eye on the ball, whereas Fleck was rather looking at his opponent. Devonshire. Well, the away teams have done very well in the games we brought you live on the match so far this season. West Ham striving here to continue that sequence. It hasn't yet been a home win. Gale wants McKnight to come, and Fleck was making up the ground all the time. I think Alan McKnight a little concerned that he might be sliding out of the area, but it all was dealt with safely enough. Devonshire, well found again by Rossignol. Back from Dickens, Culverhouse only as far as Dickens. Ince was trying to dart in ahead of the ball then and make a pass possible for Alan Dickens, and West Ham are looking to sense the right moment to break on from midfield, and with 15 minutes gone, they're holding Norwich City 0-0.
Considering that West Ham are rooted at the bottom of the table, they made a very encouraging start. They don't look a team to be lacking confidence. Plenty of possession, but it's not possession that wins games, Martin, is it? It's goals that win games.
You are talking like a manager now, Trevor. Putney. Bowen. And it has been the possession more than the penetration which has caught the eye so far. Both teams well aware that not only is there a huge television audience, but also in that audience a high percentage of their peer group, the other league professionals, all watching and evaluating. really on show. Townsend has got into the match well so far. Alvin Martin, a fine example to young players in every respect except one, I suppose, with the shin pads not used. Fleck trying to thread it through for Gordon. Rosario's waiting on the far post if the cross comes in. And Gale, always very tidy at the back, Tony Gale. Is a Norwich throw after the debating. Rosario slipped at the crucial moment, and Martin was trying to take his arm out of the way. So if it was handball, it wasn't intentional. Brady. Paris. Dickens. Well, that's a move being built here in the West Ham style. Brady tried to quicken it up. And maybe Norwich can use space now, having lured West Ham on a little bit. Townsend, though, wants some support. It's there from Phelan. Martin. Paris playing for a regular place because Julian Dix will be free of suspension for the next game on New Year's Eve. Trevor, there's so much talk in the game about the long ball and perhaps too much use of it, but we're not getting that today.
No, well, as I said earlier, that the two teams that play a similar type of football both like to pass it around, looking to get the front players in as early as possible. And also the two midfield boys are coming to support the play. Similar styles.
I suppose advocates of the longer game will say, well, we've had a lot of neat touches in midfield, but not too many goal-mouth incidents so far. Here's Bowen for Norwich. Michael Phelan playing at the back. They do lose his impetus in midfield, but Ian Butterworth lost his place through catching the flu. And Norwich played well without him, and Dave Stringer has been fair to the players who've served him well in Butterworth's absence. And Putney just got ahead too quickly as Townsend tried to sweep the ball through West Ham then. Culverhouse has to cover. Paul Ince, who's having a good season for West Ham. Obviously caught the eye with the 2 goals against Liverpool, but is a talented player in midfield where the influence of Liam Brady, I'm sure, has helped him. Pitch heavily watered over the weekend. Norwich trying to copy a lot of what Liverpool do. And one of the things they've realised is that Liverpool always have an excellent surface at Anfield. Almost came off the head of Gale for Fleck. Paris clears. For all the good work by the ground staff here, it hasn't been the best of pitches in recent seasons. Rosario getting nudged, he felt, at a crucial moment. And at 6'4", he's going to be a handful in the air. And Alvin Martin well equipped to deal with that threat.
Martin, it's nice to see Liam Brady back to his best again after his serious knee injury. After 20 minutes, he looks the best player on the field at the moment. He finds so much time for himself, and I think one of his ability will always find time and space.
Helped on by Crook. To Gordon, Culverhouse going outside him. Crook, who has the passing skills capable of unlocking any defence. He's in support of Culverhouse here. And that was a neat ball to Fleck. That was perhaps a little example of Ian Crook's passing skill that he learned from watching Glenn Hoddle day in and day out at the Tottenham training ground. But Crook had to come away from White Hart Lane to make his mark on the First Division. This time he's found Culverhouse offside. Controlling himself. It is amazing that Norwich have only had 3 home wins in the First Division, 6 away. Had they really had any sort of home form, they would have blazed a trail at the top, way ahead at the moment, instead of striving here to get back above Arsenal. Devonshire. At the moment, though, Norwich rather letting West Ham play, and there's a chance for Tony Gale. And Dickens. And that's really brought the crowd to life, and perhaps Norwich City as well. Not operating at top speed and not at top concentration at the back. But they survived when first Gale and then Dickens had the chance to give West Ham a lead. It just opened up for Tony Gale. His shot was blocked. Dickens was saved by Gunn. And that was a wrap across the Norwich knuckles. But now they have the corner. Gordon to take it. And McKnight to fist away. Collected by Bowen. Here's Crook. The drilled ball in. Dealt with, though, by Ince. Brady orchestrating. Looking to find that killer pass again, which he's quite capable. And the skill that he showed at Arsenal, Liam Brady, really finely tuned in Italy, where one through pass could win a match. And a wry shake of the head on the Norwich bench from Dave Williams, who's still incidentally registered as a player. Devonshire. Losing out to Gordon. Norwich now trying to warm to their task. Fleck, Townsend on his strong left foot. McKnight had to be sure with the handling, with Gordon following in. Trevor, they just quickened it up a little bit then.
Yes, good layoff there by Robert Fleck. Knocked it through defenders' legs to Townsend, who was breaking through. I was talking to Robert Fleck before the game, and he's an ex-teammate of mine, of course, from Glasgow Rangers, and bit concerned, Robert, is because in the last 8 games he hasn't scored a goal, and I would think that's part of the reason why Norwich have not been doing so well, because they do rely on Robert for his goals.
Yes, in all matches, Fleck's got 7. Rosario 5. They've been spread throughout the team, but not in any vast numbers. Fleck having to come deep to get involved here. Brooks straining to get there, and Devonshire beat him to it. Kelly. Well, that's typical Michael Phelan. I know he's caught the eye of Bobby Robson with his performances for Norwich City this season. Mostly in midfield, it must be said. But he's got such a sharp football brain that he's perfectly suited to play at the back. Rosario helps it on. Norwich will want him to do plenty of that. Now, how will Alvin Martin extricate himself here? Well, he didn't lose his cool, and West Ham have the throw. City have dropped 13 points this season at home and only 5 points away. In contrast, they're being pressed by West Ham here and Leroy Rossignol. Well, the angle was widening. And Rossignol decided really to go for the shot. There wasn't too much up in the way of support. Looking for his 50th goal in the Football League.
I think he was being a little bit optimistic there, Martin, wasn't he? I think he had to get his foot around it and get it to the back post there for a colleague coming in.
Rosario. Townsend. Fleck sprinting ahead of him, and he's found by Townsend, and then both Fleck and then McKnight lost their bearings and the ball. But Fleck, probably, Trevor, typical of what you were saying about him, just not running for Robert Fleck in front of goal.
No, that was a great chance, actually. Townsend made a great run through, and Robert was unlucky, just fell at the wrong moment.
Gordon takes the corner. Putney, Crook can shoot, and the deflection actually took the ball into the pack of West Ham defenders. Ian Crook again. Well, Paris was late on Townsend, and although Norwich kept the ball, Mick Bailey, the referee, hadn't looked away, and it's the name of George Paris that's going to be taken. With 15 minutes remaining in the first half. A caution for a late tackle. And a free kick to Norwich. That's Paris who cleared it. And Ince who tries to lead the counter-attack. Buying himself some time. Beautifully. Kelly. Well, Kelly didn't connect cleanly, but he would have appreciated there the tremendous work by Paul Ince, with West Ham defending at the free kick and then sprinting the length of the pitch. David Kelly, by his own admission, is finding it a little harder than he expected in the First Division, having stepped up from Walsall. And I suppose if we've got Fleck, the poacher, at one end for Norwich, it's Kelly, who's the similar type at the other end for West Ham. Potts. Linegan's header drops only towards Kelly. That wasn't really what he'd hoped for. Phelan's gone across with him. West Ham have the throw. Brady to take it. Senior hoping that a cross will come in. Brady wasn't quite set to deliver it, but now he does. Rossini is there. Well, I think on that occasion it worked against Liam Brady, the left foot, because as he went deeper and deeper, it was harder and harder for Rossini with the angle from which the ball arrived. Well, the last 4 home games for Norwich in the First Division, all drawn. And there is one viewer today who's hoping for another draw here, a 1-1 draw. We've heard from Ladbrokes, the bookmakers, that there's one of their customers who would win £250,000 if this finishes 1-1. On selecting the results to go with 5 successful selections yesterday. Rosario has got a free kick, a push by Alvin Martin. Linigan's made his way forward again, very involved in the Norwich set plays. It goes deeper to Rosario, Fleck is right in there. Senior was helping out at the back for West Ham. Kelly. Only Dickens up with him, although Ince has made up the ground now. And Rossini as well. In the space of a few seconds, involved on the edge of both goal areas. Ten minutes to go in the first half here at Carrow Road. It's Norwich City 0 and West Ham United 0. All the First Division goals from yesterday to set before you as your half-time treat. Here's Bowen. Norwich have had a measure of control as the half has developed. McKnight, the busier of the 2 goalkeepers. And the pick of the chances in the first 35 minutes, one for Robert Fleck for Norwich, and a Tony Gale sortie for West Ham. But here's Kelly. Culverhouse have covered infield well. Carrow Road, for those of you who haven't seen it in the flesh, so to speak, opened in 1935 when West Ham were the visitors for the inaugural game. That finished 4-3 to Norwich. Never been an easy ground to get to in the past. East Anglia, something of an outpost, but the communications are much better. And the club has got that much better to get themselves on the map. Fleck. Martin well forward to make the interception. Now Devonshire. Dickens, possibly a shot on. This is Rossini. Ince. West Ham possibly need to bring a little bit of width into the build-up And in fact, as Devonshire was fouled, he was looking to the left towards Paris, who was free. Gale and Martin, the two centre-backs in there again. Paris with the cross. Devonshire, Norwich pinned into their own area. And here's Paris. West Ham needing a good cross from him, but he looks instead for Gale. Brady, can he explode one with the left foot? No foul, and West Ham might be a little short at the back here. The free man on the far side is Putney, found by Townsend. Bowen charging up in support. West Ham scurrying back. And McKnight misjudged it badly. And West Ham, who were really going for the game's first goal in force at the other end, were backpedaling with a touch of panic.
They were pushing forward, Martin looking for the goal, and left themselves a bit bare at the back, and Townsend exploited it with a good crossfield pass.
Best header by Brady, down from Linnigan. Putney sees Bowen and finds him. Out from Ince. Kelly in a little too much of a hurry. Good ball by Townsend, who's had a fine first half. Crook. And it's Townsend making the forward run. Rosario right in there, and McKnight challenged forcefully by Rosario, and I think it's going to be a West Ham free kick for the challenge. But again, Trevor, Andy Townsend was a key man here.
Well, he's certainly taken the eye first half with his forward runs. It's these type of runs that are causing problems for the West Ham defence, because some of the Norwich balls that have been put into the box for Rosario are a little predictable.
Crook. Well, that's the confidence that Norwich have, playing the ball across their own penalty area there through Bowen. Well taken by Gordon from Rosario. For Norwich to his left. Putney is one of them. Well, it was deflected wide. When it seemed a clean header there from Putney, and West Ham would be in real trouble. It actually hit Alvin Martin. The positioning still the same for Norwich at the set play. Rosario, but he was leaning down. But as the ball was in the air towards Trevor Putney, he did start to sense that Norwich were going to take the lead a moment or two ago.
It was an excellent cross from Dale Gordon. I think that if we can just see this coming now, yeah, I think Trevor Putney should really have hit the target with that one. But that's the type of crosses that Norwich have to keep looking for. You know, too many of the crosses have been coming from flat positions. They must get it out wide to Dale Gordon and get the crosses in from wide positions.
Flex dummy, and Alvin Martin wasn't fooled. And he goes forward to join in again in support of Devonshire, who's got Kelly to his left and now going on ahead of him. And it's threaded through for David Kelly. Kelly for West Ham. That's a little move that not dissimilar to the one that got Gale in earlier in the half. The player who starts wide, then making a run in ahead of the ball, Trevor, and it's just threaded through into a channel that Norwich can't block off.
That's correct. That's about the third time now they've threaded their way through the Norwich defence, and if only the finishing had matched some of the build-up play, West Ham could have perhaps been the lead by now.
And what a difference a good result for West Ham would mean to their dismal league season. 3 points, but a tremendous advantage in terms of morale if they could come here and get a victory. They've had enough encouraging moments in the first half to suggest that it's not beyond their play. Three minutes remaining in the first half. Here's Phelan. He was looking for Rosario, who might get it by virtue of a mistake by Potts. Linnigan. Gordon, who has that skill and lack of predictability in his play, which might just freshen the Norwich mix if they can get the ball to him. Culverhouse was just going in to win the ball. In the end, McKnight had to field it, although it was passing wide. Lovely work by Paul Ince. And with sheer individual inspiration, he's earned West Ham a free kick. I'm sure that will be appreciated by John Lyall, the manager. He didn't travel with the players last night to their Norwich hotel. He'd been in Birmingham, checking up on Aston Villa. West Ham play Villa, of course, in the quarter-final of the Littlewoods Cup early in the new year. Well, Brady is always a possibility at free kicks. Gale loitering with intent as well. But he leaves it for Liam. Was a skimmer from Ince. Way off target, but again reflecting his own self-belief. Trevor, I don't know how much you've seen of Paul Ince, but when you talk to people around the game this season, his name often comes up as one really to watch for.
Well, I watched the game on the television against Liverpool when he did exceptionally well, and he showed one or two individual bits of skill here today, which very promising for the future. As you say, he's only a young boy, 21 years of age, so he's got a promising career ahead of him.
You have to be careful what you say now, Trevor, because other managers will accuse you of poaching if you say too many nice things about them.
The only thing is certain, Martin, is I've seen you play and I shan't be buying yourself.
Well, on a more serious note, would you like to sum up the first half for us?
Yes, without a go, but some very, very good individual performances from Brady, Devonshire for West Ham, and Townsend for Norwich. But I'm sure that, you know, if they keep playing the way they have been first half, we will see a goal in the second half.
So that's it, much to admire in midfield, but at half-time at Carrow Road, Norwich City 0, West Ham United 0.
Yes, thanks, Martin. The match beginning to justify the occasion towards the end of that first half. Well, after the break, the First Division goals from yesterday, and a fine selection they are too. Alan McInally of Aston Villa keeping up his goal-per-game ratio. One from Everton's Trevor Stephen, described in one of the papers this morning as George Best-like. There's Boxing Day, in more ways than one, down at the Dell. And there's Rushy, back in the old routine. Join us again.